Did you know, according to United States Department of Transportation, 47% of passengers killed in vehicles were unbuckled in 2019? Do you know anyone that's been in a car crash and was not wearing a seatbelt and was severely injured or even killed because of it? Or on the other hand, do you know somebody that was in a crash but they were wearing their seatbelt and they were told, oh, you could have died if you weren't wearing your seatbelt or gotten really hurt? I've grown up with my dad being a state trooper, so I know how really important it is to wear your seatbelt, and I've heard firsthand stories of people that were in accidents and weren't wearing their seatbelts. And I think it's really sad and super avoidable to get in accidents and get really hurt when you could have just worn your seatbelt. So today I'm going to talk about why you should wear your seatbelt, why some people think that they don't need to, and why some people choose not to, and then how to hopefully solve this issue. So when you buckle up, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're also protecting the other people in your car, because when you get into an accident, you're not buckled up, your entire body weight and then all of the momentum could throw you into another passenger into the car. So it doesn't really matter if they're not wearing their seatbelt, or if they are, you just hitting them that hard could kill them. According to itstillruns.com, 60% of fatal car crashes involve people not buckled. And according to Minnesota Department of Public Safety, in 2021, between January 1st and September 8th, 68 people died from not wearing a seatbelt and being in an accident. And 105 motorists died in 2020 when they were not wearing a seatbelt. So even though people know the consequences of not wearing their seatbelt, they still choose not to. So why? What's their excuses? Well, according to uslegal.com, a lot of the excuses are, I was in a hurry, and some people don't like being told what to do. They go, well, it's my body. I don't want to wear a seatbelt if I don't have to, and I get to decide. And they don't realize that, well, even if you aren't wearing one but someone else is, you could still hit them and kill them. Some people say they don't want to wrinkle their shirt and their clothes because of their seatbelt, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, you don't want to wrinkle your shirt because of a seatbelt. And some people don't believe that airbags and seatbelts work. They think they're pointless. That doesn't make any sense to me either, but some people believe that. And some people also say they're just going down the road. Well, according to itstillruns.com, 80% of fatal accidents are within 25 miles of your house. So just going down the road doesn't mean that you're safe. You may be a good driver, but that doesn't mean that other people are good drivers. They could be texting, they could be drunk, just distracted. So that doesn't guarantee any sort of safety, because you could be good, but you can't trust anybody else on the road. According to an analysis of US crash data, drivers who do not wear their seatbelts are way more likely to not have their kids buckled up properly or in proper booster seats or car seats. So children are a lot of times victims of this too. So according to American Academy of Pediatrics, infants and toddlers need to be in the back seat, in the middle, and a rear-facing car seat until they're about 65 pounds. Then they can move to a booster seat. And then according to whatever the booster seat says, once they grow out of that, then they can just sit regularly in the back seat. From 2011 to 2015, Reuters states that researchers calculate 25 in every 1,000 kids 8 years or younger were killed because they were unrestrained. Every 1,000 kids from 9 to 15-year-old, there were 42 deaths, and every 1,000 kids ages 16 to 19, there were 38 deaths. So we all know there are many laws that try to prevent people from not wearing their seatbelts. So law enforcement, they can pull you over for not wearing a seatbelt or having your kids properly restrained, and then you can have tickets that are up to $100 or even more. So it's really important to start good habits in children to know to wear their seatbelts when they're young. So that could be, we're not moving the car until everyone's buckled up properly, and then it's also good that they know how to buckle up properly. So the seatbelt, the proper way to wear a seatbelt according to U.S. Department of Transportation is the lap belt goes across the hips and the shoulder belt goes across the rib cage right in the middle of your chest, because that part of your body can take the best hit if you are in a crash. The seatbelt does not go behind you, can't go under your arm or anything, just right across the front. And then another good thing for making sure people are wearing their seatbelts is newer cars have alarm systems for when people aren't wearing their seatbelts. So like my mom's new Subi, the back seat the alarms will go off louder and louder if even the people in the back seat aren't buckled. So then that rules out the excuse of, oh, I just forgot to buckle up, because you are not gonna forget. So I'm gonna show you 2 videos. So this first one is gonna be of an adult in the back seat getting into an accident when they're not wearing a seatbelt. Okay, and then the second one, there's children in the back seat and they are not in proper car seats or booster seats or anything, and they're getting into an accident too. Okay, so we talked about why you should wear a seatbelt, why some people think they don't need to, and we discussed how there's no good excuse. And now every time you buckle up, you can think of me.